Prespawn fishing on the Tennessee River is, a lot of people have different opinions and different attitudes, different ways of approaching it. Of course, the Alabama rigs turned into a big deal. You can catch them on a single swim bait just as well as you can 5 swim baits. January, February, March, Kentucky Lake, Pickwick, Gunnersville, these lakes that have grass in them, a single swim bait works over the top of that grass just as well as an Alabama rig does in certain places. But a lot of guys at Gunners will especially throw the rattle trap, throw a jerk bait, whatever on the edges. But those places that you can catch those fish on a rattle trap and on a jerk bait, you can catch them on a single swim bait just the same too. And shad-based colors, Tennessee River, gizzard shad, blue shad, whatever, 4.5 inches, 5.5 inches, even up to a 6-inch bait when the water starts really warming in March. But the swim bait is it's pretty popular in postbone conditions out on the river ledge, but it's also a good weapon to have pre-spawn before they get out on those ledges. Any kind of bait that's got treble hooks, you got 3 hooks and trebles, it's very possible that bait's gonna get thrown. The good thing about the single swim bait is a one big shank hook, and the possibilities of it getting thrown versus a 3-aught, treble hook or whatever, a 3-hook treble hook, are not nearly as likely as a big single hook. So that's another benefit of throwing the swim bait over the rattle trap or, a jerk bait or something. I typically fish this swim bait, it's like a 1/4 ounce head. Like I said, you're fishing over top of grass, so 17-pound 4-carbon, vicious 4-carbon. Pretty heavy rod, pretty heavy Dobbins rod. The retrieve is basically you just want it to go fast enough that it's just hitting the tops of that grass. You don't want to burn it over the top of it. You really just want it ticking the tops of that grass. But the heavy fluorocarbon line, you catch a fish over tops of this grass, you got to have the power to get them out of there with that big shank hook too. So it's pretty simple retrieve. It's not jerking and ripping because that swim bait will stay up on that grass, and you're not having to constantly pop it out or jerk it out. You can just, you can just basically just slow roll it right on top. We're only fishing, 3-4 feet deep, so you're not really waiting on it to count down, and you're just slow rolling it back just like you would, a big swim bait out on the river ledge.